Without further ado, I want to invite คุณณัฐพงศ์ or คุณเท้ง to speak. Thank you.
Thank you คุณพานุ Thank you everyone that all gathered to be here tonight, and thank to FCCT to invite me and คุณศิริกัญญา to this forum. Despite many people says to me nowadays that congrats to me as a party leader, but I still disappoint to the Constitutional Court verdict that regarding the dissolution of Move Forward Party. If you can recall, on the 6th March in 2020, Mr. Thanathorn and Mr. Pitha were here after the dissolution of the Future Forward Party. And on that day, Mr. Thanathorn told us that the dissolution of the Future Forward Party was not an end. It was just the beginning of this chapter 2. But for me, I don't want the next chapter to be happen. I just want this is the chapter end of the junta or the coup d'etat in Thailand. Mr. Thanathorn told us that no one can stop the wind of change, the progressive movement of the people that we started 5 years ago. And the last year election result shows that his statement is still true. Our challenges in the next 3 years is regarding how we can win the majority seats in the parliament. I have to accept that this is not an easy task to do, but I truly believe it is possible to achieve. By doing that, we plan to expand our party membership in all areas across the country. Within this year, we will organize the open house event in our province in Thailand. We plan to revise our all 300 policies that Kun Sirikanya may share to you that how we can improve our policy to be suitable the people needs in the next election. Furthermore, we are going to send the candidates in the local election, especially in the provincial level, that we have a good chance to win, that we think that it is a good opportunity for us to deliver the policies to the people and to bring it into reality. This is like the strategic movement for us to gain more people's confidence that we can run the country in the future. Lastly, I will use the short time for introduction and let you like the Q&A session. I am, for personally talk, I have to accept that I think despite I'm not deserve for Thai people as a Prime Minister, I believe in myself right now, but I truly believe that I can improve myself in the next 3 years. So we plan that I have to travel across the country within a year for 77 provinces. So you can, if you can calculate that, meaning that in 5 days, every 5 days, I have to go in one province to travel across the country within a year. This occasion will make me ready to be the next Prime Minister, make me understand the people needs in local areas, and help us to develop the policies that suit the people needs in the rural areas. So that is our current plan and what is our movement. I can tell you that our main priorities, our main policies will be still the same: to protect the human rights, to bring the full democracy to Thailand. That will be and must be the same. You keep continue on that. So it is my very short introduction, and we'll give back to you for the Q&A session. Thank you.
Thank you. Before we go to Q&A, I'm going to ask both of you. Of course, Kun Napong is joined by Kun Sirikanya, who currently been elected deputy leader as well of the party, right? So before we go to Q&A, I'm just going to ask a couple of questions, and then you guys can have the microphone. So I think one of the key questions is, you mentioned the Constitutional Court decision, but both of you and 44 others, current and former members of your movement, is facing this ethics probe by the National Anti-Corruption Commission. Do you have any comment on this ongoing threat that maybe 44 of you, including both of you, I think, could be banned for life, right? Either of you share to comment on that?
Sure. For the current situation about the 44 MP cases, the NACC might send the case to the Supreme Court in January, and we all will prepare for the cases. Not only that, for the internal of our party, we prepare like the colleagues and our team to continue our work in all scenarios. What will happen to the 44 MPs, I truly believe that we can continue the movement of our party.
Now we look at policy and what's going on in Parliament. Many foreign media sometimes follow closely, sometimes not. Can you maybe outline some of these policies that you guys are working on, maybe some of the things that are your priorities?
Of course. I think it's my turn because I'm the deputy leader responsible for the policy platform of the party. And I'm here to confirm that all of the policy platforms that we pledged during the last election, the last general election, still going on, still continue. And our priority right now is try to perfect those policies just to be ready for implementation in the next next 3 years. So it's in 2027. So of course there's some policies that we have to continue to drive. Even though we are in the opposition, so we have all the laws that we trying to push to pass the parliament. For example, the next week, I think, our competition law amendment will enter into the first reading of the parliament. That's guarantee our principle that the monopolization in the country, the economic concentration should be handled within the legal framework. So we have to have the better set of competition law, for example. The liquor liberation policy that we have campaigned for so long, like 6 years, have just been delayed of the vote for the first reading, for example, but we still have high hope for that when it comes back, we're gonna get it passed right again. And right now we think we have made it into the mainstream. Every single party has proposed this quite kind of alike law, trying to liberalize liquor industry in Thailand for the sake of the retailers, the small entrepreneurs. So that's how we're gonna continue the whole policy and perfect it to make sure that it's ready for implementation in the next 3 years as we become the government.
The last question for me before we go to the floor is something that I mentioned to both of you earlier. It's something that some of the foreign media has been following, so I got requests about this. There's an undercurrent through I guess beyond the Prisoner Law campaign, but there's a current undercurrent about anti-Myanmar migrants, especially online, many raised by opponents of your party, let's just say, and sometimes zero in on some of your MPs. Do you have any comment on why this is happening? Why suddenly the Myanmar migrant, they've been in Thailand for such an old issue. Why is it suddenly becoming a new thing? I mean, do you or your party has any kind of thoughts on the issue? Thank you.
May I? Because I'm kind of responsible for the debate that it happened. That one of our MP has speaking of this issue, particular issues, in the agenda that of the policy statement that of the new government, and it surprised us too because it's not our first time talking about Myanmar issues, and exactly the same statement that we have in the parliament about how we have to provide all the humanitarian aids for the refugees, especially for the public health, that at the end, if we wouldn't taking care of, it's gonna affect our own citizens, for example, or the education issue. It's very surprised that the government has just to ratify the Article 22 of the what's called the rights of the child treaty, right? And then we have the news. We heard the news that they closed down the learning center in Surat Thani for the displaced Myanmar people. So we have to talk about this in the parliament, that we didn't ask for something really huge. We asked for something very basic and very at the least of the basic human rights. But still, they have this is gone to become like a spare back to us. And but I have to make sure that we will standing at the same stance, and we wouldn't change anything, even though we have to try to explain to lots of people, to our own supporters who don't agree with this, but we will try to make them to understand more about the issues, but not going back or stepping back on this stance.
Okay, I think I've asked enough.